The story of Benny Andersson is one that reflects both extraordinary musical success and the quieter, more emotional realities that often accompany a lifetime in the public eye. Best known as one of the creative forces behind the legendary Swedish pop group ABBA, Andersson helped shape some of the most recognizable melodies in modern music history. Born in Stockholm, Sweden, in 1946, he grew up in a household where music was a constant presence. His father and grandfather both enjoyed playing traditional Swedish folk music, and as a young boy Benny quickly developed a fascination with the piano and accordion. By his teenage years he was already performing in bands, learning the fundamentals of songwriting and musical arrangement that would later define his career. During the 1960s he became a member of the Swedish pop group Hepstars, one of the country's most popular acts at the time, and it was during this period that he began to build the songwriting partnership that would change his life. In the late 1960s Andersson met guitarist and composer Björn Ulvaeus, and the two quickly discovered that their creative instincts worked remarkably well together. Their partnership soon expanded when singers Agnetha Fältskog and Annie Frid Lyngstad joined them, forming the group that the world would soon know as ABBA. From the moment the band won the Eurovision Song Contest 1974 with the song Waterloo, their careers accelerated at an astonishing pace. Throughout the 1970s, ABBA produced a remarkable series of international hits including Dancing Queen, Mamma Mia, and Take a Chance on Me, songs that combined Andersson's sophisticated melodies with polished pop production and emotional storytelling. At the height of their success, the group became one of the most famous musical acts in the world, filling concert halls across continents and selling millions of records. Yet behind the dazzling success and bright stage costumes, life within the group was not always simple. The close personal relationships among the four members, two couples whose romantic partnerships were intertwined with their professional lives, eventually faced strain as the pressures of global fame intensified. By the early 1980s, both couples had separated, and although the band continued working together for a time, the emotional atmosphere within the group had inevitably changed. When ABBA eventually paused their activities as a band, it marked the end of a remarkable era in pop music, but for Benny Andersson it also represented a moment of reflection after years spent at the center of an international phenomenon. Unlike some artists who struggled to redefine themselves after leaving a globally famous group, Andersson continued exploring new creative directions. Alongside Björn Ulvaeus, he composed music for stage productions, most famously contributing to the global success of the musical Mamma Mia, which brought ABBA songs to new generations of audiences and later inspired a successful film adaptation. He also created orchestral projects and recordings that reflected his deep appreciation for Swedish folk traditions and classical influences. Despite these accomplishments, Andersson has often spoken thoughtfully about the emotional weight of such a long career. A lifetime in music inevitably brings moments of nostalgia and reflection, especially when looking back on an era that changed global pop culture. For many fans, seeing Andersson today evokes a sense of both admiration and bittersweet memory, because his melodies are so closely tied to a period of youthful excitement and optimism in music history. Now in his late 70s, Benny Andersson remains widely respected as one of the most gifted composers in modern pop music. The tragedy that some observers perceive in his story is not one defined by scandal or dramatic controversy, but rather the quieter realization that time moves forward even for the artists who once seemed permanently linked to a golden musical era. The extraordinary success of ABBA, the personal relationships that evolved over time, and the passage of decades have all shaped the emotional landscape of his life. Yet through it all, Andersson's music continues to live on, echoing through radio stations, film soundtracks, stage productions, and the memories of millions of listeners around the world. In that sense, his story is both moving and inspiring, a reminder that behind every timeless melody is a human life filled with creativity, change, and reflection, and that even as years pass, the beauty of those melodies ensures that the spirit of their creator continues to resonate far beyond the stage where they first began.